Hey guys, this is Arun,
And this is Abby.
and welcome back to a brand new episode of Fill Your Pockets. Today's episode, Wednesday, September 22nd. Um, we've been on fire recently. We did lose a few plays earlier this week, but for the most part, we're sitting at a good record. I believe we're sitting at 41 and 30,
Yep.
so still looking good. We had one play yesterday. We had a straight bet. We had the San Francisco Giants, their straight bet against the Padres, tight game. They ended up winning by 1 run. We hit our bet slip, so we improved to the 41 and 30 record. So far, so good. We're looking good. We got two plays for you today, but before we do that, we're gonna quickly recap the game from yesterday and the play from yesterday. So Abhishek, take the honors, my man. How do you think the Giants did yesterday, and what do you think about the game?
Thank you, Arun. And I thought a lot of people were overreacting, making the Padres the favorite in this game.
Mm-hmm.
It was a pretty even pitching matchup, in my opinion. And if that's even, I don't care if you're at home. This is not football. It's not NBA. There's no real home field advantage in this sport. The Giants have the second best road record in baseball. The Giants are playing for something more meaningful than the Padres. The Padres are not making the playoffs. It's over. I haven't seen a collapse like this in a long time for how much talent this team has and for all the hopes they had for them to now be 5 games behind the St. Louis Cardinals, who now have won 10 straight games. It's insane. So the likelihood is that their season is over. But give them credit, they fought. They were up 4-1, and I did not overreact. It was a third inning. The Giants have one of the best bullpens in baseball. The Giants have one of the best lineups in baseball. They quickly made it 3-4. Then they made it 5-4. Then the Padres came back and tied it up. And then ultimately in the ninth inning, the Giants made the plays to win the game, 6-5. And that was it. The Giants needed this game. They kept looking at the scoreboard. If anyone was watching the game, they kept showing the scores from other games because now at that time, we got less than 10 days, I think, left of the season, regular season, around 12 days. So they kept showing the scoreboards, and it shows Dodgers 5, Rockies 4, Dodgers win. So if the Giants had lost this game, the Giants and Dodgers would have been tied for the division. So the Giants win. Now they're still up 1 game on the Dodgers, putting pressure on them. And in honestly, the Giants still have pressure on them because you only have 1 game. That means nothing. So Giants win. They had solid pitching after Gosman came out. He did not have a good day, in my opinion. Neither did the Padres starter Musgrove. But all in all, Giants win 6-5. We win. Everyone wins. Great value.
Yep.
The Giants were underdogs, which it was insane, but they were. And I hope everyone makes some money off of that. 41-30, and keep rolling.
All right, let's keep on rolling then. We got two plays for you in this episode. First play, 7 to 10 Eastern Time game on ESPN. We got the Mets taking on the Boston Red Sox. Right now, Boston is leading the season series 3-0. New York, 1 game losing streaks, currently sitting third in their division. Um, the odds for this game, the Mets will be the favorites minus 160, or the underdogs, they'll be plus value plus 160, and the Red Sox will be the favorites at home minus 190 value. Abhishek, first play of the day. We got the Mets taking on the Red Sox. Who you got, man?
Two teams on polar opposite situations. The Mets season is over. It will take an absolute miracle for them to make the postseason. There's no way they are, if we're just being honest here. They have no pulse left. It's sad, all the money they spent, changing ownership, everything, bullshit, and it doesn't make a difference. Mets 3-7 the last 10 games, just bad. Taiwan Walker, who started off the season amazing, he was the bargain of the free agent market. He has now struggled a lot for the past couple of months. 5.1 ERA in his last 7, awful in my opinion. The numbers say everything. Like I mentioned, they're out of the playoffs. Basically, it would take a miracle, and they are 17-31 versus left-handed pitching. That's exactly who the Red Sox have pitching for them today, Mr. Chris Sale. Red Sox. Okay. The Red Sox are right now at the top of the wild card. They're not going to win the division. Tampa Bay can chill for the next week. They won the division. There's no biggie. They just getting ready for the postseason. The Red Sox are right now the number 1 team in the wild card. So that means they're going to host the wild card game if the playoffs started today. They are, I think, 1.5 games on top of the Blue Jays. The Yankees are half a game out of the second wild card. So we have a 3-team race here. This is why this is so interesting. We got 3 teams from the same division going for 2 spots. It's insane. The Rays already won the division. There's no way the Rays are going to lose the division. That's not even a question. So we got Red Sox, we got Toronto, and we have those Yankees that just keep on shocking the world by losing games to teams that they should not be losing to. And if they miss the playoffs, it's going to be the talk of the town in New York because, hey, them and the Dodgers pay the most money. They have $200-something million payrolls, and if you can't even make the wild card, then that's just throwing money down the toilet, in my opinion. So the Red Sox here, they need to win. Like I said, they're right now the top wild card, but they have not secured anything. Chris Sale, who is a future Hall of Famer, one of the best pitchers I've ever seen. Chris Sale, 2.7 ERA in his last 7 starts. He's 4-0. His record technically is 4-0, even though that could be deceiving. But he is 4-0. He hasn't taken a loss as a starter. And at home, he's also 4-0 in terms of his record. Like 4-0 doesn't really mean that he only started 4 games and he won all 4 games. It just means that when he started and he pitched the whole game, once he left the game, they were at least winning or tied. They weren't losing. So that's what that basically means. And they go on to hold on to win the game. So Chris Sale has been a godsend for them. He came back from injury, and he's been the future Hall of Famer that he is. They're not in the position they're in without Chris Sale. He's pitching. He's pitching great. There's no reason to think he won't pitch again great today. The Mets, they can't hit. They can't pitch. They can't do anything. They're 73-77, I think that's their record. It just the Mets were on top of the division, and now, like I said, them and the Padres, it will take a monumental miracle for the Mets to make the playoffs. The Padres, a minor miracle. But with that being said, some places I see minus 170, some places I see minus 190, depending on where you are. The Red Sox are the play here, and in my opinion, you should confidently pick the Red Sox today.
All right, moving on to the last and final play. Um, we have a 10 o'clock Eastern time game. Once again, we got the Giants taking on the Padres. Once again, this game is a very tight game. Basically a pick 'em. The odds are basically even at this point, minus 110 across all the bookies. Abhishek, this game is going to be tricky once again. I believe it's going to be a close game. But who you got, man? Giants taking on the Padres.
Another 10 o'clock game, bro. I'm trying to get some sleep, but we got to make money, too. We got to make everyone some money. These 10 o'clock games wear you out, man. These games take till like yesterday. I know we were just talking 2 a.m. I hate it, but what is it? If that's the game that we like, that's the game we like, and that's how it is. We got to live with it. Same thing here again. ESPN primetime game. Giants, as I mentioned earlier in our recap, they need to keep winning. The Padres will need a miracle. And the pitching staffs today don't help the situation. So, San Francisco, 7-3 in their last 10. Like I mentioned, fighting for the division. 1 game up on the Dodgers. Scott Kazmer pitching. I didn't even know who this guy was. Then I looked it up. He pitched twice this season for the Giants. Like 2 innings, 4 innings. Now he was okay. And nothing real, not too much information on him recently. The last time he pitched before was 2016. So this is a complete unknown really right now. So this is going to be a bullpen game. They're going to use the relievers. They used some of the relievers a lot yesterday in high leverage situations. So it's going to be interesting how the Giants pitch this game, especially since it's a must win. All these games going forward are must wins for the Giants. Now we get to the San Diego Padres. They're 2-8 in their last 10. It's just bad. It's just bad. Like I mentioned earlier, miracle to make the playoffs. Velasquez is pitching for them. They just added Velasquez over the weekend to their roster. He has been absolutely awful. 8.8 ERA in his last 10 starts. He's awful. He's not going deep into games. He's giving up runs like it's candy. Last 6 starts, 5 out of the last 6 times that Vince Velasquez has went to start and pitched the game, he's given up at least 4 runs. With that being said, since we don't really know the situation with the Giants, I assume it's going to be a bullpen game. The Padres can, God knows how long they expect Vince Velasquez to even pitch. Even if he pitches 2 innings, 3 innings, I expect the Giants to score at least 3 to 4 runs off of him. That's how bad he's been. So, and the Padres bullpen is not that great. They've been used so much over the last couple of weeks. So that's also a positive for our situation here. Um, Yesterday, it was Kevin Gausman, one of the best pitchers for the Giants, versus Joe Musgrove, the best pitcher right now for the Padres. Final score 6-5 over, that was 11 runs. The over-under for this game is 9 right now. Arun, if you can double-check that if I'm not mistaken.
What's up?
The
What
over-under for
lines?
the game.
Over under for the game. Let's see. One sec. Let me pull up the
Last
run
time I
line.
saw it was 9.
Yeah, 9.
9. At plus 100?
Uh, yeah, plus 100.
All right, so I love 9 plus 100, but I looked also for the alternate, and I looked at 8.5 at minus 155. Both numbers, I love in my opinion. I think it's gonna be a very high scoring game. Vince Velasquez will give up at least 3 to 4 runs himself. So the Giants, their bullpen has been taxed also. So both of these teams are using real arms that are either taxed or not the best players. So yesterday it was two of their best pitchers pitching. The score was 6-5. That's the best way to look at this. But in my opinion, I feel this game is gonna definitely go over 8.5 or 9.5. So we'll give our picks later on. But for right now, the over under is 9. I would take the over. Plus 100 is great odds in my opinion. But with that being said, if I had to pick a side here, I would pick the Giants, just because their bullpen is better than the Padres. And Vince Velasquez, I know is garbage. I don't know how good Scott Kazmir is. So if I had to pick the game, I'd pick the Giants. But right now, for this situation, I'm taking the over in this game. And that's it.
All right, guys. That pretty much wraps it up for today's episode. Hopefully, you guys tune into the IG page for the final picks. And with that being said, hope you guys have a great Wednesday and happy gambling. Peace out.